We constantly find ourselves blocked by the invisible walls of our own perceived limitations. Whenever we attempt to launch a new business, pursue a loftier goal, or step into unknown territory, our subconscious immediately whispers that this is our ceiling, claiming our current intelligence and capability are strictly fixed. When we experience a setback or receive negative feedback, our brain instinctively deploys a protective barrier, retreating back into the safety of the comfort zone. When this protective loop continues, we fall into the illusion that our talent and intellectual capacity are permanent, unchangeable traits assigned at birth. However, this is absolutely not a predetermined genetic ceiling. The real culprit is that your subconscious interprets failure as an existential threat rather than a source of data, trapping you inside a fixed mindset. Your deeper mind actively constructs reality based on what you believe to be true. If you confine yourself to a narrow definition, your brain operates to validate that limitation. If you hold your potential open, your nervous system works to construct the neural networks required to realize it. If you desire exponential personal expansion and monumental success, you must stop settling for your immediate circumstances and utilize neuroplasticity to build a systemic growth mindset. This precise psychological mechanism was thoroughly dissected and proven by Carol Dweck in her global classic Mindset. As a professor of psychology at Stanford University, Dweck demonstrated that the definitive differentiator of human success is not raw intelligence or innate talent, but the underlying mindset an individual holds. She divided human belief systems into two distinct categories: the fixed mindset, which dictates that intelligence and talent are permanent, unalterable traits, and the growth mindset, which understands that capabilities can be continuously developed through dedication, strategic effort, and learning. Individuals operating under a fixed mindset interpret any failure as a negative report card on their personal worth, causing them to actively avoid challenges and obsess over external validation. Conversely, those with a growth mindset view failure as a necessary and valuable feedback loop. To them, a setback is simply a learning opportunity, a training apparatus designed to strengthen their neural circuitry. Neuroscientific research confirms that a growth mindset goes far beyond positive thinking. It physically alters the biological structure of the brain. When we tackle complex challenges and push through cognitive friction, the connection points between brain cells, known as synapses, multiply rapidly, physically expanding our cognitive capacity. The subconscious errors that paralyze our personal expansion and keep us trapped in a fixed routine operate through three distinct systemic phases. The first phase is the destructive merging of failure with personal identity. When a project fails, the fixed subconscious bypasses the objective fact that a specific attempt was unsuccessful and declares instead that you are a failure. To protect your pride from this existential pain, your subconscious shifts you into a highly passive state, refusing to take further risks. The second phase is the negative valuation of effort. A fixed mindset generates the absurd assumption that highly talented individuals should execute tasks effortlessly, and that needing to exert effort is definitive proof of an underlying lack of talent. This distortion devalues the act of trying, causing you to abandon projects before you ever fully invest your energy. The third phase is the hyper-defensive avoidance of constructive feedback. Because you perceive critique as a personal assault rather than data, you actively block the critical information required to upgrade your performance. As these three distortions lock together, you decline into a passive hostage to your environment, locking your vast potential inside a prison built by the opinions of others. Dismantling this rigid architecture and establishing a high-performance growth system demands three non-negotiable subconscious upgrades. First, you must practice the immediate restructuring of your internal dialogue. Before you can alter your external behaviors, you must rewrite the vocabulary you feed your subconscious. Replace the absolute statement that you cannot perform a task with the powerful inclusion of yet, declaring instead that you simply have not mastered the skill yet. This single linguistic shift transforms an immediate limitation from a permanent failure into an ongoing development loop. Second, you must re-engineer your internal reward system to focus exclusively on the execution process. Stop rewarding yourself based on immediate outcomes or external accolades instead. Place your self-valuation entirely on your effort, your strategic adjustments, and your willingness to execute despite uncertainty. When your subconscious associates value with the act of effort rather than the end result, you unlock a steady, unshakable drive to execute. Third, you must systematically force your system out of its comfort zone. You must deliberately introduce daily cognitive friction, whether by studying complex subjects, exploring unfamiliar domains, or tackling projects that induce mild stress. That precise moment of mental friction is not a sign of incompetence. It is the physical sensation of your neural pathways, expanding to establish a higher baseline of capability. The monumental achievements that define exceptional lives are never the results of a fixed intelligence, quotient, or highly favorable initial conditions. They are the compounded outputs of an engineered growth system that refuses to accept a permanent ceiling. If your development has felt stagnant for years, it is not proof of a lack of talent, but definitive evidence that the walls of your comfort zone are highly optimized to confine you. Now that you understand this biological reality, refuse to let past setbacks or the opinions of others dictate your future trajectory. Smash the fragile, fixed self-image of your past and construct an internal architecture optimized entirely for continuous expansion and limit testing. Forcing your system to push against its perceived boundaries by just 1% every day results in an exponential compounding of your capability over time. Take absolute ownership of your neuroplastic systems and dominate your psychological matrix. The power has always been and will always be entirely yours.